he drives the crap out of it. This one has to be the king. What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this POV review by Autobahn. My name is Max, and today is one of those good days. We have a few of those every year, and you kind of know when you're hitting one. This is incredible. The Ferrari 812 Competizione, which is the hardcore version of the 812 Superfast, which is already an incredible car. It's already crazy fast, super fast, very fast, and just gorgeous to look at, incredible to drive. But this is the hardcore version, and this is a very rare and expensive car. So let me start by saying a massive thank you to Thijs Timmermans. We've borrowed a lot of cars over the last few years there, and there have been some really cool ones, but this one has to be the king. This is his personal car, and I cannot thank him enough for letting us have a go. This is super special. He uses the car properly. He's done like 60,000 kilometers with it, and he drives the crap out of it, which is awesome. It's not a garage queen. So today I'm going to show you around it quickly. I'm going to show you the spec and the things that make this Competizione special. Then we'll take it for a drive towards the Autobahn for an Autobahn blast. Let's have a quick look around the car. This is matte blue Le Mans with a yellow stripe running across the car. Super nice spec. The matte paint finish is a very good match with this car because it's so aggressive. Look at that front bumper, how angular that all is, and how massive these air intakes are. Big splitter down here. We've got a little license plate over there. Super nice aggressive headlights, and then you've got this carbon fiber, well, bar running across the front, which gives it a super aggressive look from the front. This is here to direct air both over the roof and down the sides, and to suck air out of the wheel wells, because there you can see is a little air vent, so air gets sucked in there through the wheel well, and then you need to suck it out again, because otherwise you get lift inside the wheel well, and you don't want that. We've also got the carbon wheels, which just look stunning. Behind that, carbon ceramic discs, and we've got calipers from an SF90 that have a special air duct, basically an air vent to cool the brakes. We've got the Pirelli P0 tires around that with the yellow striping, which is an option. Apparently very difficult or impossible to get a second set of those. These are 275 tires on a 20-inch wheel, and you could also have the Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2R tires if you wanted to do more track driving. This is more of an all-round tire, which is great. So another air outlet there. Ferrari's thing is always to not add too much like visible aero, so there are a lot of things going on underneath, and things like these sort of hard to spot air vents. But if we take a look under there, you can also see things like that. For vortex generators is what they are called, and that means that you don't need a big wing and a super aggressive front splitter, stuff like that. No, not too much visible aero. We've got these 315 tires at the rear on a 20-inch wheel as well. We've got these super nice like cutouts in the rear bumper, which are there again to get air out of the rear wheel well. The vortex generators on the rear deck lid. You don't have a rear window anymore, so this is here basically to save weight, one, and two, it also the air that is directed from the front over the roof into these vortex generators is then directed onto the rear spoiler, which is also a lot bigger than the regular 812 Superfast. You've got a bit of an extended body in general, which is super cool, and then you can see the air vents there. Big carbon diffuser, massive exhaust exit right there, which is just ridiculous. It's like a race car from hell. Super cool. You still have a boot, which is also very nice. And then let's take a look at the engine. Which is, of course, the 6.5 liter V12 naturally aspirated engine. In this case, it revs to 9,500 RPM. They have completely overhauled the inside of the engine. So the internals are just overhauled to make sure that the engine, one, will do 9,500 RPM to extract more power from it, 830 horsepower, 692 Newton meters of torque, which is just crazy. It's got something called, let's just have an example, carbon-like coating or carbon diamond-like carbon coating, something like that, to make sure that everything is as light and as strong as possible, so you have the maximum amount of power. We've got a new intake which sounds ridiculous, absolutely insane. If you haven't seen it yet, go check out the sound video. It's just ridiculous. One of the best sounding cars, intake sound wise, I've ever heard. New exhaust. I mean, there is so much going on to make sure that this car, which is a GT at heart, according to Ferrari, it's already a freaking supercar, but to make this car feel like, well, close to an XX program car. I think that's the goal. It looks very extreme. It almost looks like an A12 XX. And well, let's have a drive and see if that comes close to that experience. And when I say that experience, not that I have a lot of experience with those XX cars, but I mean that it feels a bit more like a race car. You've got these 4-point harnesses as well, which are nice because they are like quick release. So you just have to click in one side and you're good to go. And you've got these sort of retro looking protection things for your shoulders and chest, which is super nice with the logos there. Interior wise, we've got a lot of Alcantara, passenger display, the new like open gate shift thing. You don't have that in the regular A12, but which I really like, the A12 still has more buttons on the steering wheel, so you don't have the SF90 and 296 steering wheel with all the touch things, which I don't really like, and you still have a analog rev counter, of course, which is also great. Why is my door closed? I need to start it up. So, oh, proper V12 sound. We're going for ESC off because I drove it with CT off, and there are still a lot of safety systems active, and I don't really like that for the B road because I want to experience the car as it is. So we've got the big buckets as well, which are super nice. Manual mode. So it is a very, very aggressive car, but it is very manageable. And that is because you have, you have so much traction from those big ass 315 rears. You have the super smart electronically controlled diff from Ferrari, which is just magic. And then this car also features the new virtual short wheelbase system, which means that this is rear wheel steering, which we've seen before, introduced with the F12 TDF. However, this new system is super advanced and is able to steer the rear wheels independently and also adjust the toe angle. The toe angle adjustment is mainly to increase stability under braking, and of course the independently adjustable rear wheel angle is to make it more stable and or more agile. So ESC, let's do CT off for this. Launch control, hit that button, full throttle. There we go. Oh. It's so fast. It's supposed to do, I think, 2.85 seconds. Oh. But the way this thing revs is just nuts. Peak power is at 9,200 RPM, so it definitely pays off to hit those revs. And it just The car is transformed, it really is. It feels so direct, so sharp, and so much more physical than a regular 812. Compared to this, yes, an 812 Superfast feels like a GT, because this feels like just a freaking missile gone wild. It is hilariously ridiculous, and it is probably the best Ferrari I've ever driven. It is just insane. It really is. Let me just hit the speedo. There we go. It's a much more physical experience because there are so much more G-forces at play, but also it just invites to hit a B road in a completely different way compared to an 812 Superfast. Okay, so onto the Autobahn. Just going to floor it until we cannot floor it anymore. Martijn is on the bridge, so we should be able to get a really good flyby, because this sound, oh, rev limiter there. As I said, approaching is one of the most insane things I've ever heard coming out of a car. So we're already at 320. It's kind of ridiculous. Decision there. So that's a 340 flyby there. Everything going on underneath, but it's not phased by it. So 100 to 200 we did 5.18, which is very quick. That 7th gear is much longer. You can hear the tone changing. I have to let off here. Oh wow, I can feel like my breath and everything is just a little bit shorter, because I'm being pushed so hard by this car in all directions. And I have to say, I'm not sure if they stiffened up the suspension at all. I'm guessing they did. I mean, it would be logical, since this is like, well, it's not a pure track car, but it is like halfway between a road car and a track car. Especially if you select those Michelin Cup 2R tires. But the suspension is very, very good. It's not too stiff to the point where it unsettles the car. And I even have a bumpy road mode button right there, but I don't really have to use it because this is just perfect. So the result of this redesign of the engine, you know, pistons, lighter titanium con rods, a redesigned crank which is also lighter, intake, exhaust. It all leads to the fact that this engine, which is already one of the all-time great engines, it just revs so happily, so freely, and it means that this experience, which was already incredible, you bring that to 9,500 RPM and it just so nuts. Got some cars over here. Top speed over 340 kilometers an hour. Got a few bumps over here, which we are going to take with around 300 kilometers an hour. And then we're off the big straight. Bumpy road for these bumps right here. Ooh, you can feel it starting to float a lot more, so I'm going to turn that off again. This is much better. That's a shame, this car. That is a shame, but we do still have Martijn on the overpass, so I'm going to slow down a little bit and then do like third gear. It feels so different compared to an 812. It feels so much more aggressive and hardcore. So I'm losing light quickly, as you can see. We'll see if we can hit this little straight here. No. A little bit more busy here. Oh, but downshifts, oh my god, so much more aggressive because that engine revs so freely. Those downshifts feel so much more aggressive. Other cars are just flooring it, but they are standing still. Wow, what a car, holy moly. Everything that was already great about the 812 super fast is just amplified in this car. So we're going to try one last time if we can get any more than 350, because I feel like it still has quite a bit left. But I just don't have the space. You also have more downforce, of course, 30% more downforce compared to the regular 812. So that also hampers you at high speed. But wow, what an incredible car. I mean, this has to be one of the all-time greats. This is an iconic car, and even though we thought that this was going to be the last hurrah for the V12, for this V12 in its most pure form, you know, naturally aspirated, no turbos, no hybrid. The new one, the 12 cylindry, also still has this engine. So little goodbye. Wow, what a car. Thijs, thank you so much for letting us have a go. I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining me again at the Autobahn. Hope you enjoyed it. You can subscribe by clicking the big button in the middle. Check out this video, this playlist, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye.